We've got this piece. It is Prosaide and powdered beautifully, and it is ready to paint. So, ta-da! I am ready to be painted. Oh, if you stick your finger out of it, it looks like a tongue. It's so silly. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this painted. See you in a minute. Start painting. I'm gonna dip my brush here in the alcohol, and we're gonna put it in the black paint to make a bit of a wash. You can see that there. And then we're just gonna go in. You can start anywhere. We're gonna start in the creases, and we're gonna go through. So and there's some powder in there, and that's okay. If we get a little extra powder off, we can just put our brush in there. But we're just trying to make a little bit of washy color with that. I want to try to keep my black in the low areas. And we're just going to try to follow. I'm going to take it off of here for a second. Alright, so that way you can see it a little bit better. And we got a little wash here. So we're just going in the low areas. It's okay if a little bit comes up above. Dip it in the alcohol again. We're just going to try to make a little bit of a washy paint. And you can do, like I said, with cream colors, you can use alcohol activated paints. But you want to remember that to work with a sculpt, and we're trying to create as much depth here as possible. If you have a finer brush, you can go in there with a finer brush. I find this one works for me though. Like I said, we're just going to make some washes here. You want to get it really into the creases there. And you're just going to follow the creases of the piece. We're going to go around the mouth here. There's some powder there, and that's okay. Just going to put in a little more alcohol. Like I said, you can use a Ben Nye cream, you can use Merhon. Still coloring the low areas of the prosthetic here. This is the White Walker, and then I also have a Night King foam gelatin prosthetic. But both of those characters are usually like gray and black in the lower areas. So it can be up to you. I'm going to end up adding a little bit of blue in there just to kind of highlight and speckle it around. But to begin with, we use a lot of black and we use a lot of gray in highlights. And we're just going to go over a section in the eyes here. And I'll show you that lowered as well. But I just want to say, like, especially under here, we'll see if we can get that. I want to get underneath the brow. So I want to make sure I color all the way under here so that when I get ready to cut out the eye sockets, it's dark in here, because that's where you're going to cut this out, and then you're going to paint your eye black around here and powder that, and then that'll help kind of blend in a little bit. So you just want to make sure, I'm just getting that washiness on the brush, that you're getting all the way up under here. This is a lot easier to do when you're pre-painting it than, especially if you have to put it on, apply it to yourself, than to apply it to yourself later. So, and I'm gonna go over that. Like I said, if it's not heavy enough the first time, you can go over it again, but you can see kind of there's more definition. We want to get in there. I'll show you where there is, right in here. We want to have that. So we want to get in that definition around the eye and the brow area, really. Because especially if we're going to be wearing this at night, we really want people to see all the detail in the sculpt. And so that's what I mean about working with the sculpt too. There's already detail in there. So if you paint those low areas black and then highlight the high areas, then that does a lot of the work for you. So see how we're painting this? So there's this ridge here. There's a ridge right here. So I'm painting the dark color around that so that it's more of a highlight. And then I'm kind of going over here for the eye sockets. So you can see how that's coming together a little bit more. So I'm going to keep going, keep painting. I'm even going to come in here close to the nose. That's another reason why I don't cut out the eye sockets, because the part in here close to the nose is usually pretty thin, because we want it to blend in easily. So we're getting in the nose, and you can really see the sculpt come alive as to flat with no color and then color. I feel like this is a really easy one to paint because there's not like a whole lot. You just kind of like paint by numbers. You just follow the area. Low is dark, high is light. So we'll keep going and then I'll check back in a bit later. Well, I had a question. Someone asked me, can you paint foam gelatin pieces with acrylic paint? And I don't know. I never tried. I've painted with packs, which is acrylic mixed with Prosaide. Acrylic paint mixed with Prosaide, but I've never painted with just acrylic. Now, the foam gelatin pieces are prepped with Prosaide and powdered. So let's just find out what happens when you color them with acrylic paint. And I have some of the cheapest of the cheapy cheaps acrylic paints right here in white and black. I'm going to make a gray color out of those two. We'll put it on and see how it takes to the prosthetics. Let's go. Alright, we've got our acrylic paint. I have to open up because the portion is too dry. I'm going to scoop out a little bit of that. That's still wet. Might as well just scoop out a whole bunch. Why not? I'm not using it anyway. But alright, next we have black because we're trying to make gray. We're going to use the other end. Well, the black is actually not quite as dry. I think that's probably good. Let's mix it up. I'm going to add a little bit of water to it because it's acrylic. More water, thin it out some. And we'll add just a little bit more black. Alright, so we added a little more black to it to make it a bit more gray. And as you know, I did the other one in sort of a blue color, so I want to just do this one as more black and gray. So we're just going to try it. I'm going to wet my sponge a little bit first and really squeeze it out so it doesn't soak up too much product. Then I'm just going to dab it in here. And we're just going to go for it. We're going to tap it across the high areas and see what happens. That's not bad. Let's see what his nose does. Not bad. I think maybe I'll paint half the face with the acrylic in the gray and then half with a different type of product and just see what it looks like. So let's continue to paint. So again, I am stippling on the high points. That's it. I'm just dab, pick up, dab, pick up, dab. And I'm going to move this to the side so you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing here. You can, I guess, put this on with a brush. We'll try brushing it on a little bit too. Dabbing on the high points definitely lets you know where you missed the low points at. I'm sorry, you can't see that. A lot faster than coloring the low areas. I'm just going to color, like I dabbed there so you can see that it brings out the texture in this low area because there's some sculpting texture in there. And when you just lightly tap over it, it brings that out. So that's beautiful. That's actually not bad. That's not bad. I'm going to see how that dries. Let me get a little bit more in here. I'm going to let this dry and I'll go over some of the dark areas again and see what it looks like. See what it looks like when it dries. But I'm kind of digging the acrylic paint so far. I don't know if I don't have enough there. Yeah, that's a little. The great thing about this character is he's kind of like crumbly and gritty already, so I kind of like that. We're going to let that dry and go over it with a little bit more dark color, and then we'll see the difference between the two sides there. Alright, so now it's dry, and we're going to cut the eye holes out. So you can do it a couple different ways. I like to just kind of get the material out in general, and then I'm using the cuticle scissors here, and then once I have that out, then we'll place it around the eyes and see how it fits. I'm going to do that with the other one, and then we'll see how it fits. So you can see here that I cut it out, and then I'm just putting some black color over the inside here so that doesn't show. And we're going to do that with the other eye here real quick. And we might end up beveling that down a little bit more, but we're just going to put some black over here so the inside doesn't show. And here's our completed piece. And I've also done the lips in black as well as the inside of the eye holes, and then the rest in black and gray with some light highlights. I did not color this piece, which is the flashing, which will be cut away later, and we'll be doing this as an application later. So I'm very excited about this. Like I said, this is the acrylic, which has sort of like a crunchy texture to it, which is kind of fun. And then we also did a test with face paints, and who knew face paints would actually take face paints. I'll show you guys what this looks like tomorrow, so if it changes texture at all after a day, or if this does as well. So far, like I said, it's got that cracking texture. Might be kind of cool though. Anyways, thanks for watching so much. I really appreciate it. Feel free to like and subscribe, and if you're looking for this face mask, you can find it on Etsy. I'll have the link below. Thanks so much for joining me. My name is Makeup Dr. Shari. Talk to you later.